back, lattes and cappuccinos too. Coffee tables, there's Blaze, Persona 4 Arena.
Oh no!
Once again, I participate in the combat test. Yay, fun stuff! Once again, I claim victory without destroying my opponent. I target only her weapons and limbs.
Does that mean we don't get their things anymore?
I don't know. I elect not to employ the tactic of targeting their weakness. I believe that if they think the same things as I do, they would not wish for their personality modules to cease functioning. Though even if I do not destroy them, the research staff will remove their plumes of dust.
Really?
Either way, their functions will be suspended. Oh, man. My actions are difficult to justify. But I feel that suspension through destruction is not a worthy end for them. That is what I think when I rationalize it by applying the criteria to myself. I do not think anyone would want their consciousness to be terminated by those like them. I find myself more conscious of the damage I sustain and of my efficiency in combat than ever. Depending on my results, I may eventually be ordered to destroy them. To prevent that from happening, I must continue fielding favorable results. It becomes easy to continue fighting with that objective in mind. That is becoming my new objective. I am theoretically being tested on destroying my opponents, but I have begun fighting so that they will not be destroyed. Paradoxically, this has caused my results to improve.
Hey.
Could this be considered going against orders? My strike shatters the servos in an opponent's pivot leg. She falls to the ground, unable to stay upright. Her weapon has already been destroyed. She should be incapable of resisting now. But the buzzer signaling the end of the test does not sound. As I wonder why, I hear a grating metallic sound from the opponent. She leaps onto me with one good arm and leg.
What's the matter, number 031? Hurry up and terminate the target.
I do not know what to do. My opponent is acting contrary to her own safety. I grant that this is the only action left to her, but she will destroy herself before inflicting any damage to me. A tactic that puts one's life at risk like that. Putting one's life at risk. What am I saying? We are weapons. We exist to obey orders. We cannot prioritize our self-preservation without a change in those orders. That is why she is challenging me to a fight. She will do so until all of her circuits and servos burn out and she becomes incapable of action.
Oh, God.
As she grapples with me, I put my hands to her neck and squeeze. Oh,
Oh, great.
I adjust my grip strength limiters to 70% of the maximum. The opponent's body makes an abnormal sound.
Yeah, great.
After this, I sense the main lines of the bridge unit snap in half inside a soft structure. Her movement stops. Oh, good!
Great.
Snapped her neck. Her limbs go flaccid, indicating loss of consciousness.
Jesus.
I can see my reflection in her optic inputs. They have lost their focus and look like black holes. Oh! I gasp. The face I see reflected in them is not the expressionless. How should this expression be classified? I have seen it sometimes when 24 smiles. This face indicates sadness.
Oh.
The buzzer signaling the test's end finally rings. The researchers enter the chamber. I am used to this scene now.
Now, that was pretty impressive. You think it's because of the size of her plume? Funny that one little part could make such a difference.
Indeed.
One tiny researcher.
Most of it is due to differences in their tactical mentalities. It may be on the cusp of what we would call an ego.
Snap her neck.
Considering
Snap her
how
neck.
everything's been going so far, I'm starting to believe more in Persona abilities.
Show you a persona.
Yeah,
ability.
seriously, God.
One little part. Is it true that the plume of dust installed in me is comparatively the largest among the units of my type? But does this part determine everything about us? 24's smile seems much more human than mine. I find myself opening my mouth to speak.
She's been surviving just as long as we have.
But I realize that the statement I am about to deliver is a protest. I am quick to abort. Was I about to deny the staff's authority? They speak to me. My confusion seems to have gone unnoticed.
Well done, unit number 031. That was an impressive display of destruction.
Great.
Plus, you cleanly severed its transmitter, leaving the Plume of Dusk unharmed. That's certainly ending things on a high note.
I don't like you.
Ending things on a high note. An act of destruction is a high note. The researchers look at each other while holding the petri dish with the bluish-white plate-like object. One of them says,
All
"This
right,
is the
number
one."
031. As of today, the test battles are finished.
Oh.
It's over?
Okay.
Cannot help questioning the
All the results indicate that you have the very highest performance out of all the units of your model.
I'd say we can go ahead and earmark unit number 031 to be the base for developing the 5th generation.
The base?
It means that you're the winner.
Combat tests are over. Will I no longer be required to fight? A strangely intense sensation of
Do
relief
you hear
fills
that
me.
music, by the way?
I do. It is not because I won and gained a reward. If the tests have ended, those of my unit type that are not yet destroyed can escape that fate. Interesting. It seems that I was reluctant to destroy them after all. My priorities have become inverted. Yet I am so happy that I smile. Yay! The researchers notice this expression as well and smile back.
Okay, we're going to begin the usual review of the feedback. So come over here.
I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Destroy them. It's okay.
Is it?
Yeah. When the download begins, the memories and thoughts of my recent opponent flow into me, along with vivid images. Sitting through battle data has become a routine I have repeated so often that I am barely conscious of it now. I pursue the non-combat memories she preserved. It is the landscape of the outdoor area again. At first, I could only vaguely recognize it, but now I can pinpoint exactly where this memory is from. Oh. It is near the biggest tree. The memory is of flowers. There are images of a small shoot, a budding plant, and a blossoming flower. She must have had an interest in the concept of growth. For we machines, the growth of an individual is an unknown concept. But one of us took an interest where I had only seen it as a part of the landscape. It seems that she too had her own thoughts unrelated to our orders and battle performance. She simply did not show it. I recall what 24 said. My own objective and not an order given to me. The twinge in my chest returns. I'll make sure to hold tight to your memories. This was the thought that formed in my mind.
Oh, she's becoming very, like...
Yeah, it's not great. Once again, it is time to spend time outdoors. I quickly met up with 24.
Yay, she's alright.
It seems she was looking for me as well.
Hey, can I talk to you for a while? The lab boys told me today that they were putting the kibosh on the test battles.
I see. It's over then.
Look,
But can you explain to me
I've
what a
been
kibosh
thinking.
is?
If they end up tossing us out soon because of that, I want to go with you to go see that person you were talking about. The one you wanted to meet. I might even put in a formal request about it to the lab boys.
Aww.
24 takes my right hand. Before I can determine her intent, she pulls a cable from her list and connects it to a port in my own. She looks at my face in silence. Thinking she wants to confirm that the tests are in fact over, I nod. But the data that transfers is from her to me. The packets that flow in through the cable form a single, very small
If you are
archive
still
file.
safe when everything is over, open this file.
24 removes the cable, but keeps a hold of my hand.
What do you mean, when everything is over? How come I can't look at it now?
If I had to answer, I would say because it wouldn't be fair.
Is that-
Fair?
She smiles and does not answer. We're gonna fucking have to kill her, aren't we? It is the same unsure expression. It is a smile, but there is sadness in
It
it.
would be wonderful if I could go with you to see her.
Her? So this person you're looking forward to meeting is a girl?
Is a girl? Who?
24 nods slowly.
But it's strange.
I don't know.
Even though my wish may not come true, I still feel satisfied for some reason. How bizarre. It's a fervent wish of mine, too.
This is the time. It contains more than sadness. There's too many emotions for me to phrase, all reflected in one expression.
I believe in you. I can tell you this because I trust you.
Yay.
Maybe that's why I feel so at peace.
Huh?
Maybe this is what it is to feel alive.
Alive? It has happened again. I do not comprehend the meaning of the world. I feel... What? Oh, the word. Yet, I feel a tinge inside. I look at the sky and attempt to follow her gaze. Hey, stars! Yay.
There's nothing there to hint at her meaning, but I still wanted to get closer to her. She wishes for me to understand. I want to grant her wish. From then on, we spend our time looking up at the sky in silence.
And
Eventually,
there goes the signal.
The signal that time is up reaches our ears. That is when I notice that the moon has appeared from behind the laboratory buildings. I see. I thought that the light emanating from the plumes of dust reminded me of something now. I know what it is. It is very similar to the light from the moon in the night sky. The moon that never sets.
This is very poetic. This is kind of very poetic.
Well, kind of. They're putting the kibosh on this.
They're putting the kibosh. I'm sorry, the
I'm
what?
sorry, the kibosh, huh?
Who the fuck formulated your vocabulary?
Hey.
Hey.
Wait, why are we back in the battle chamber?
Yeah.
The sun rises and the next day arrives. After coming out of standby, I am ordered to enter the shock-resistant chamber once again.
Okay.
From what I am told, it is different. It is for a different purpose than the combat tanks. Soon afterwards, the 3 researchers who supervise the feedback downloads appear.
Sounds like it's decided. We'll discontinue use of the name Unit Number 031.
Oh.
Generation 5 Labris will be this unit's new name.
Labris.
That's your name. The official one's much longer.
Huh.
Generation 5 Anti-Shadow...
Fifth generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labris. How hard is that to remember?
Labris.
This designation by a name that is not a number. I never questioned being called 31 until now. Nothing about it seemed awkward. But I wonder why. I am happy now to have acquired a name. Even if my designation changes, it will not have a concrete effect on my abilities. But by discarding my number for a name, I feel as if I am no longer one of a series with minute variations. I am a discrete individual. That may be why. I find myself smiling as a result.
It's prideful.
From now on, the battles you fight will not be to test your performance. They'll be geared toward drawing out a persona. First, you will fight all the remaining units of your model type. Your objective is to destroy them, every last one.
Wait, why? That's not what you said.
Oh, man, these fuckers.
Why are you perplexed? You could have seen this coming a mile away. These guys are dicks. Fight against all remaining units of my model type. Destroy every last one of them.
Not only are they doing
impulse
like
and
children
self-preservation
freaking
instinct
experiments, they're also
seem to
doing
be the
freaking.
key to activating a persona.
Oh.
This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress.
Stress? Come on, you don't have to go this far.
Huh? Well, that's a first. None of them have ever protested like that. Well, at least that's a sign that its ego is developing.
You told me it was over. I thought I wouldn't have to do these things anymore.
You.
Ain't there some other way? If there is, please, let me do that instead. I don't want to fight them anymore.
3 researchers look at me with an apparent surprise on their faces. Did my protest get through to them? I hope so, but
That's a surprise. Such natural speech patterns. I hadn't thought its personality would develop this fast.
All the data's being recorded now. Let's compare them and look at which stages they improve at.
Like, if none of the others have freaking, you know...
I am at a complete loss for words. They are not machines, but humans, and on top of that, they are creators. It is not possible that they do not understand me. Yet their current expression. Until now, I thought that they were understanding people who treated us as close to human.
I was wrong.
I am only an object to them. No matter what I say, they will see it only as a response to stimulus. Behind their gentle attitudes, we are nothing more than test subjects they hold no emotional attachment to. They do not focus on what I am saying. They are only interested in it as a reaction. The researchers ignore my stunned silence and hastily leave the chamber. Their figures are hidden beneath the hatch and behind the hatch. Soon, with a terrible low-pitched sound, a hatch on the other begins to open, where the opponents come through. I will be forced to fight again today, in the days to come. I must continue to destroy my opponents each time. I cannot find the words I want to say. I slowly turn my head towards the hatch, but what I see there is what I truly leaves me at a loss for words.
No.
Hi.
Hey.
The opponent emerging from the hatch is 24. There's no smile or sadness on her face. She is quietly standing there, expressionless. 24 steps into the chamber while gazing at my face. The hatch slowly closes. Oh, and it's just me and her.
No. Why?
Even I do not know who the question is addressed to. Why is she here? Because she was ordered? Do I have to fight her now? It is not quite sinking in yet, but in a sharp tone I have never heard from her before, she tells me what I must do.
Draw your weapon.
I can't.
If you don't fight, you'll lose. I will end up destroying you. Are you willing to accept that?
Okay.
Why are you saying this stuff?
24 ignores my question and reaches behind her back with her right hand. The multi-use weapon unit releases from her back. It becomes a great sword in her right hand. It is approximately 50...
Jesus!
Oh, 1.5 meters.
Oh, 1.5.
As long as she is tall. She is alarmingly... yeah.
Yeah.
It is difficult to process seeing the weapon pointed at me.
If you fear being destroyed, if you have a heart capable of fear, then there's no need to hesitate. That alone gives you the right to attack me with all your strength.
But doesn't the same go for you?
I could not help but plead. 24 does not answer. But it appears that a very small smile forms on her lips.
You said there was someone you wanted to meet. I can't fight you knowing that.
I turn and appeal to the researchers watching us from the other side of the glass wall.
Come on! Stop this! I don't want to fight anymore!
Oh. Oh.
I press against the transparent wall and continuously strike it with my fist. Though my safety limiters are disabled, it must be coated with something. I cannot even scratch it. The researchers standing on the other side are completely expressionless. It is as if they are machines themselves. I beg and plead, but they do not respond. If only there wasn't this clear glass wall between us. I am so frustrated. Why? I then hear 24 speak weakly from behind.
Only one of us can exit this chamber.
Huh?
They never told you, since you were strong enough, that battles never lasted very long. But that's the rule of this place. The only time the door leading beyond that transparent wall opens is when one of us is considered unable to fight. From the start, this whole setup never took our feelings into account.
Okay.
I can say nothing. I can see from her words that the
But
atrocity...
talking like this is a waste of time. I can see I won't spur you into fighting with just words alone.
As soon as she finishes, 24 leaps into the air, swinging her sword at me. I quickly jump back and barely dodge the attack. Her sword slashes the space where I had been at a speed I could have been killed. The tip grazes the chamber floor. Red sparks fly. She is serious. It finally sinks in. I jump away to put distance between us.
I don't intend to meekly accept my destruction.
Oh no!
Now, fight me.
I have no choice but to fight. But a thought crosses my mind. In terms of basic combat strength, mine is probably higher. Using my usual tactics, I should be able to destroy her weapon and disable enough of her servos to prevent her from attacking. 24's ego is without a doubt more highly developed than mine. It must be of value to the researchers. If I can render her incapable of acting, I may be able to avoid the order to destroy her when she is down. I decide to bet on that possibility. Okay, I shift my priorities and fight back with all my strength. I cannot do this empty-handed. I remove my own multifunction weapon from my back and shape it into a battle axe. It pains me to do this, but it is the only way. I repel 24's persistent sword strikes and go for a counterattack. Oh, I guess so I'm not even going to get the fighter. Nope. I aim for the great sword's clasp with my battle axe. After a number of hits, it shatters. My next target is the transmission system from her shoulder and knee joints. In terms of output and movement itself, I detect various differences between us. Amongst those of my unit type, I awaken latest. Compared to 24, not only my personality module, but my limbs as well have been upgraded to the latest versions. It is only a matter of time. 24 loses virtually all offensive capabilities and falls to the floor. As I planned, 24 is mostly undamaged apart from her weapon and motor functions. I immediately turn towards the researchers behind their invisible wall and raise my voice.
Isn't this enough? She had that ego thing way before me. Destroying her won't do anyone any good. Come on. Have a heart.
Have a heart, huh?
But hearing this, the researchers only laugh.
Oh.
Their faces are as joyous when they see the results surpass their expectations. Why? What in this situation could cause such joy? 24's body, collapsed on the floor, suddenly begins to convulse. It goes still for a few seconds. Then, although it should not be able to move, it drags itself up.
Huh? What the?
Her eyes.
Unpleasant metallic sounds are coming from all over her body. It indicates that she is undergoing unreasonable stress. Still, no expression appears on 24's face. It is a cold, doll-like void. It is similar in appearance to a newly activated unit. I know as soon as I look at her. She would never make a face like this on her own.
What did you do to her?
It'll be coming at you with everything it has now. You better not hold back either. Number 024 had an excellent record against others of its model. Even you might have a hard time beating this one, Labrys.
I unconsciously find myself biting my lip.
No, this is no time.
Oh, it's more like We are weapons. In other words, tools. Of course, there would be a means to issue orders remotely. I recall what the researchers said. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress. In other words, the more strongly I desire 24's survival, the stronger my reaction will be when forced to destroy her. That is why they laugh, because of dicks!
Great. What a bunch of dicks!
I can sense the strength.
No!
There is nothing more I can attempt.
No!
All I can do is end her. Fantastic.
Oh, I don't like that.
Behind me, 24. Or rather, her animated shell
shell.
approaches me, its limbs shaking. I suppress all thoughts unrelated to tactics and slowly turn around. My body goes cold. My arms move into a position as if controlled by someone else and ready my weapon.
Oh, God.
Oh, great. Animated. Fantastic. It was not a close fight. Once I decided to finish this. Once I was resolved to stop her. 24, as she is now, stood no chance against me. I fall to my knees next to 24. Her limbs have been shattered. She will never rise again. Oh, fuck. My processors are overloaded with things I cannot understand. I feel as if processing has slowed. 24's face is turned to the ceiling.
Are you not gonna look at me anymore? You're not gonna smile again?
I did not expect her to respond, but 24's face moved slightly. I stare at her without knowing how to react. She turns her gaze to me and smiles. Oh,
I'm sorry to leave you alone. I leave the rest to you.
those were the last words she spoke. I can't believe this. 24's dead face is laughing. Oh, she is smiling at the one who destroyed her and robbed her of her dream. All at once, everything hits me in a torrent of emotion and data. I've lost her. I did it. I took everything she had. My vision begins to fade. My thoughts go with it. Okay, now this is where I cannot determine whether the lights are actually dimming or if it is only my perception, or perhaps the TV. It is too much to handle. I collapse to the ground helplessly, like a crumbling statue.